Today we're talking about mentors, mentorships, mentees, that sort of a relationship. So have you ever been in that sort of a role, whether as mentor or mentee, and how have you found that experience?
Very rewarding, actually. And the answer is yes to some of our younger producers and reporters whom I've had the privilege to coach
And
then,
train,
and then continue to be a mentor of sorts, providing advice and guidance and things like that, only based on the experience I've had.
Yeah.
What about you?
Of which
Yes.
I've also been a beneficiary of that experience too when I came
Thank
back in
you.
2019.
And that's where EQ is very important. It's really about, how you say what you want to say and delivering that message in a way that needs to be accepted in the right frame of mind and in the right
The right
context.
spirit as
And the
well.
right spirit. What about you?
I think I'd be more on the beneficiary side of the house than anything else on the mentor side of the house. But definitely if there were opportunities, happy to play that
Yes.
part. After all, you've been helped by other people along the way.
Absolutely.
It's only about paying it
Forward.
Did you say forward? Yeah,
Yeah.
backward.
Paying it forward,
and backwards. Yeah.
and grooming the next generation. For me, I think that's very important.
It's so important and mentorship as a whole as well. So that's why we want to spend some time to get to know a non-profit organization, and they're called the Asia Institute of Mentoring. And we have Chow Lu with us. He is founding executive chairman at the Asia Institute of Mentoring, or AIM, joining us. Mr. Chow, thank you for making time to speak with us today. Welcome to CNA938.
Good morning. Thank you, Stanley and Susan. Good morning. Thanks for having me this morning. I'm feeling a tad nervous this morning for some reason, although I've been in our interviews many times.
Hey, don't be.
Don't be.
Just imagine you're sitting in your living room talking to two friends, okay?
Yeah, with coffee in hand.
All right.
Okay, fantastic. I just heard your conversation about mentoring. My gosh. A great topic. Okay, maybe I can just, do you want me to say something about AIM? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we definitely want to find out more about AIM because it is not a for-profit. It's a non-profit social enterprise. Tell us more about AIM.
Yeah, it's a nonprofit for sure. Okay, AIM was started just over 3 years ago, 2019 January, as a mission-driven, primarily volunteer-based nonprofit organization. Our mission to elevate mentoring to the forefront here in Asia, to raise the quality of mentors and set the standard in mentoring. And finally, to be able to spread mentoring to all aspects of the society, to potentially impact millions of lives. Can I share with you a personal story?
Please do.
Is that okay? Yeah. Actually, the whole idea of mentoring and coaching was happened to me actually back in the corporate world over 30 years ago when I was at Apple in the Silicon Valley. Back then, I was the technical guy. I was an engineer. I was pretty good at what I was doing. And then, I was promoted to be a manager of the group. This happens all the time, right? The best technical individual can get promoted. Being a manager is totally different from being an individual contributor. It was managing tasks versus managing context, and I had no idea how to do it. No clue whatsoever. It was promotion that felt like it's emotion, and I was absolutely clueless how dealing with people. But fortunately, Apple at the time had just started a mentoring program, what they call protege program for high potential employees. My manager, bless him, he knows the new role and transitions I was taking on, so he enrolled me in this program, and I decided to take on the challenge. Excellent program. Somebody, and you get assigned to a mentor, someone who's higher up in the organization. My mentor assigned to me was a vice president at Apple at the time. This was back in the 1990s. Right. He was a very busy man. And then, I only get to meet him once in a while. But, every time when I did meet him, I always had some good advice. Really good advice for me, who was someone totally new at novice at managing people. Advice I remember to this day. Right. I also got myself a professional coach, a leadership coach, to learn about leadership and people management. So I had a leadership coach for about a year, and Apple paid for that. That was a big transition point in my life. I took on a huge interest in people and leadership, which became one of my life's obsessions. I literally studied everything about leadership, everything, how important people's skills are, and so on and so forth, what it takes to be a leader, and so on. So, and since then I have mentors in my life. One of them is Professor Muhammad Yunus, who I have a great respect for.
Right.
You know about him, right? He started the whole, he's the founder of Grameen Bank and started the whole microfinance.
Yes.
And another mentor of mine, Steve Jobs, of course. I actually never met him in person, but, we can't argue with what he has done. So anyway, because of my personal experience in mentoring and how I benefit from it and being coached, how my life was actually transformed, my whole career, the value and the impact that mentoring can bring, I believe more than ever that when done right and at scale, that mentoring has the potential to be a great leveler and a tool for transformation for many segments of the society, but for both the mentors and mentees and the organization that embark on mentoring. This is why I started AIM. This is the reason I started, and my motivation for starting AIM. That's almost 30 years later.
Based on your personal story, we can see, Yan Lu, that mentoring is critical to a person's success, particularly, for example, you walked into a role you were promoted to with no idea how to do it. But is it possible to succeed if you didn't have a mentor, if a person has no mentor?
Always possible, right? Nothing is impossible. However, a rich body of research, this data behind this, shows that highly successful people hardly ever make it on their own. Yeah, they always enlist the help of experienced people who can, lead them and guide them every step of the way, and who can turn to for counsel, for advice, or motivation. We all need that for techniques and strategies that minimize risk and maximize success. Just about everyone who makes it has a mentor. This is, the biggest and most famous entrepreneurs that the leaders that if you ask them, have you had a mentor in your life? Someone who's kind of helping, maybe at the time you don't even know that they're your mentor, but they guided you, they give you good advice, they make you think, they were a sounding board. Just about everyone would say, yes, I had at least one such person who has guided me, and that will be my mentor.
Yeah. Can your immediate boss be a mentor of sorts sometimes? There's not an official role or term that you would give your boss.
An informal way, maybe.
Yeah, an informal manner in which they coach you and they guide you along as well.
It's also possible. But the challenge there is also, of course, there could be a conflict in the role, right? Your boss will be interesting in your performance, how you contribute to the organization.
Right.
Yeah. And, so mentors, of course, would, to have a good mentoring relationship and the one that's useful and helpful to learn, you have to be vulnerable. Yeah. You have to be able to talk about your things that your weaknesses as well, your strengths. Is your boss best person to talk to you about this? I don't know. It's a good question.
Yes.
But there's place for a boss to be a good mentor and coach. No question about it. In fact, increasingly, I think bosses need to become better coaches and better mentors. There's no question in that, because we're about, in order to elevate someone's performance, right, in the long term, to be able to really help that person, you have to put on your mentoring and coaching hat, as you know.
Yeah. So Yan Lu, you're really saying if you're looking for a mentor, someone who is going to be objective, someone you can be vulnerable to, someone who has no ulterior motive or other agenda, to look for someone outside of your organization, outside of your department, maybe, that can play that kind of a role more effectively.
I absolutely think so. And sometimes you want to look for people that, maybe from different industries or different spaces even, someone who can, because one of the roles of the mentor is to give you a different perspective on things, right? To bring you to a higher point of view, isn't it?
Yes.
Someone who work very closely may or may not be able to do that. I'm not saying no, but I think at the same time, you can also have more than one mentor, isn't it? So my suggestion would be look for mentors, even one mentor at different points in your life that can help you in whatever you're doing, right? So, let me tell you about what we do at AIM. So at AIM, we have now evolved into what we call the 5 pillars of mentorship. Yeah, these are leadership, entrepreneurship, career resilience, parenting, and personal well-being. Right. So we built our mentorship around these 5 pillars of mentoring. So you can see it's very holistic and it's very relationship driven. Yeah, so it's so because a person can play different roles, all these roles at different times, at different places, right, in their life. Even the same day we're a parent, we could be a leader at work, we could be we could be an entrepreneur, we could be an entrepreneur, we may be on a career transition, right? So we look at mentoring as holistic, at looking at the whole person.
Right.
Yen Lu, AIM is moving to actually get mentors certified. I mean, thus far we've been talking about an informal arrangement between people, but to get mentors certified means that you learn the proper skills in order to be a mentor. Talk to us a bit about this.
Yeah. Okay. To answer that question, Susan, I think let me go back to our purpose. Yeah, our purpose of AIM is when we started, is to create an Asia-based people power mentoring movement to move people. Yeah, to share, to give forward, to transform, to harness that what we call the deep human potential and create social impact. Our vision is to have 10,000 people being mentored in Singapore and Asia to reach out, to connect, to engage, to guide, to inspire, to lead, to empower, to transform, and then get this 10,000 people to pay it forward as mentors and to repeat the process every year for the next 100 years. Imagine the ripple effect, that kind of impact it will bring to our society, economy, anything that's in the community, schools, and workplace, anything that can be done at scale with quality and for a long period of time will have major, major impact. But to make this happen, going back to answer your question, it is critical that we have good quality mentors to be at the forefront of this movement. That's why the need to have certification, and that's why the need to have quality and standard. Because before AIM came along, nobody talked about quality. I mean, it's already, even 3 or 4 years ago, even, in Asia, I'm talking about, there's already quite a bit of mentoring, conversations going on. Now everybody's talking about mentoring, but nobody talks about the quality and nobody talks about the standard. And that's one of the main reasons we're here, is to raise the quality of mentors and mentoring and set some standard in mentoring. Very important. Very, very important.
And if there are listeners out there who are thinking, yep, they have gotten quite a good amount of experience and mindset and workplace and leadership situations where they are happy to step up to be a mentor and they want to be certified, how do they do that?
Come to join our class. We have a certified.
How long are the classes and programs? Okay,
we have a certified professional mentor that we offer to the community individuals. It's highly affordable, very accessible because this is part of our social mission, so it's highly subsidized. This program, which is our flagship program, is a 7-week, 7-module, highly interactive, but highly intensive and highly engaging program. And there's also, after the 7-week, courses, there's also a mentoring practicum. You need to go out and mentor 2 people over a period of time. Right. After which you can get certified. Okay. So that's the program.
And the mentees, are they going to be assigned to the person doing that certification program, or does that person look out for 2 mentees himself herself?
We usually ask for people to find their own mentees. Yeah, in the context of their work, in the context of their community that they're involved in, right? Although, and we also say if you really need help to find a mentee, we also help. We'll try to help you to find one as well.
Okay. Got it. And, there's probably so much more, that we can learn about your institute, Asia Institute of Mentoring. And we'd like to point our listeners to your website. That's Asia Institute of Mentoring.com. We have been speaking on MoneyMind with founding executive chairman at AIM, or Asia Institute of Mentoring, Mr. Chow Yen Lu, joining us for this edition of MoneyMind. Thank you, Yen Lu, for your time and all the best as you continue to grow AIM with the aim of cultivating more certified mentors. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Stanley. Thank you, Susan.